This is my first time incubating eggs. So we bought this incubator on Amazon, and honestly, it doesn't even have like a name brand or anything. It's just called 24A Automatic Mini Incubator. And it shows like all of the different ones that you can buy. It's called, okay, so it's called the HHD Mini 24. But from what I've learned, and I actually had to read this manual to learn a lot about it, it's pretty simple to use. It holds 24 eggs. We only have 23. We're missing, well, we had a runaway. The runaway, we don't know what happened to him. Anyways, so we're on day 14 here. Right here's the countdown that tells you how many days they've been in there. And actually, my humidity is actually a little bit high right now because I put a little bit too much water. There's a water port here, and it comes with this little canister. You're supposed to keep the humidity at about 55%. So there's an alarm that will go off every time the humidity gets low. There's also an alarm if the temperature gets too high or too low. So wherever this thing was made, they go by Celsius. So I had to learn how to convert that over to Fahrenheit. So 37 degrees is roughly 98 degrees Fahrenheit, which makes sense. It's roughly body temperature. So from what I understand, at about day 18, I take all these eggs out of these trays and I lay them on the bottom of the incubator and I crank up the humidity, and that is to soften up the eggs so that the eggs have enough strength to hatch out of the egg. It actually softens the shell up. So right now, they're probably too hard that the chicks wouldn't be able to hatch out. Right now it's March, it's still cold outside, our humidity's low. So I would actually adjust my humidity depending on what time of the year you're hatching your eggs. Okay, so I'm gonna take the lid off of this thing, and you'll get a little sample of what the alarm sounds like. Very carefully. Oh, and another thing is the pointy end of the egg goes down. So we'll see that this temperature is gonna go down, and then an alarm will sound. And the humidity is also going to drop. There's that, low temperature. So it lets you know when things aren't going right. Pretty simple thing to use. So I'm just going to unplug it for right now. And we're going to see if these things are alive or not. Fertilized, I should say, but alive. Now let's see if I can give you an example of one that there's no chick in. There's nothing in here. You can basically see right through this whole thing. There's no dark blotches. There's no distinct line where there's an air bubble or anything. So this is an egg that we'll just discard. So I think what I'm going to do is just take a little Sharpie, and I'm going to go through all these eggs, and the ones that are fertilized and look like they're doing good, I'll just put a little dot on it, just so I know, and we'll discard of all these ones that there's nothing going on in them. So that's it. So another thing that we've learned is, I don't know if you can see this line, it's actually a bloodline. It's like the chick started to grow but had an early death, like it just didn't develop and it's probably dead in there, we think. So we're gonna hang on to it still just to see if we are right, but from what we're reading, that is not a good sign. So something you want to look for is that bloodline, and you can almost kind of see something floating around in there. It's probably just like a premature developed embryo, I guess. So, but it still has the air pocket and everything, like something started to happen, but I don't think this one's gonna make it because of this bloodline here. Okay, so this one definitely has a chicken in it. You can see the air bubble here, and the area in between the solid and the air bubble is pretty clear, but there's an actual chicken in there. I mean, okay, so we put a little red dash on all the ones that we think are fertilized. There's a couple that are questionable, but we're not really ready to toss them yet. And there's 4 of them up here that we really don't think there's anything going on, but no harm in having them in there, I guess. We'll just keep them, and you know, that's it.
We'll see what comes out in about 7 days, right? Is that how long they have? 7 days?
Yeah, about 7 days.
Oh, okay. And then we'll see how many are actually starting to hatch.
Hurry up, it's coming out. It's coming out. Chicky. He's tired. The tired Chicky, see its foot? The big chicken. You say hi, Chicky? Say hi, Chicky.
I want Chicky.
Yeah, that's a Chicky.